Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hey, this is Chris from the Ticket Stub. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We really appreciate it. Believe me, we do. And so we're going to have a good show today. And so gather your, your paper and pen and all that, because we've got a lot of information to give you on what to do with the kids Saturday. We're going to talk about that. And I know you're always looking for, what can I do to keep them happy and, and to educate them and to make them better citizens and all that. And we've got the answer for that today. But I did want to say that our sponsor, the Wootton Financial Group, is great. I messed that up yesterday. They've only been here with 6 months, and our sponsor. But anyway, Chris Wootton is the CEO. He's the head dude of the whole thing, and he's so good. He's a good guy. I would not have anybody on this show except Richard that I didn't trust. So it just goes to show you that Chris Wootton is the guy. You want to make sure he's going to take care of your money, your retirement, angst and whatever that you're feeling worried about as far as the banks and all that. He can explain all that, what's going on, and make you so educated that when you walk into a bank and you're going to, okay, I'm going to take the money out of the mattress, I'm going to put it in this bank, and I hope this works. And he'll tell you what to ask him, the questions to ask him. And I never thought about that, but all the questions that he says ask them, I would think they would think, next week I'm going to come in and rob this bank because I have all the information. But he said, talk about their liquidity, and he gave me all the, buzzwords. And I wish somebody would have done that whenever I go to my mechanic and if I take my car in and I knew exactly what to call things. That would be great. And they would look at me like, it's okay, wait, tell me that sound one more time. Okay, all right, I know what's wrong. But anyway, so I want to take a break. And because you're going to get to hear Chris Wootton, and he's wonderful. And so this will help you go, Cindy's right. And finally, somebody says Cindy's right. Okay, don't go away. We're going to be right back with Kidzfest. Yes. See ya.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
And we're back. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, and we're going to be talking about Kidzfest. It's going to be this Saturday. And I have with me Mike Cantu. I went to school with Mike Cantu, but I probably would have been, babysitting you. But you didn't go to Milby High School, did you?
No.
There's a lot of
I am
Cantus.
from Houston, though.
You are from Houston?
I am from Houston.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Well, there's a lot of Cantus over by Milby High School that we went to school with. So, anyway, and then we have with us Hall. Hall, and your first name is?
Kellie.
Kellie. Why couldn't I remember that? You're supposed to feed me that in that ear, Richard. Kellie Hall and Mike Cantu. I just remember Mike Cantu because I went to school with him. Anyway, they're here to talk about Kidzfest. They have all the information and any question that you have. And we'll be discussing, I know the story that I've told so many times about when I lost Cindy at one of those events. And so, but we're going to talk about where you feel very comfortable about bringing your children. If they get away from you, it's going to be okay because they've got everything in place. And they even talked about it today. They said about the security part of it. And that's very important, and they know how important that is because this is a family place. And anytime they have any kind of thing where the kids are invited to come over, it's packed. So they have a lot of work cut out for them. But we'll let them talk about what they've got planned, and we'll start with Kellie. Now look right at you. Okay, Kellie Hall. Yes, ma'am. So now, what is your position? Do you work for the city? Do you work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I work for the Parks and Rec Department. Mike is my supervisor, and I'm a program coordinator.
Okay. That's right, Parks and Recreation. Did you used to watch that show on TV? That
I
series?
have not seen one episode.
You haven't?
No, but
Probably-
I need to.
Probably best. No, probably best that you don't,
No,
because
I'm sure it's funny.
No, it'll make you feel like, we got our stuff down.
Yeah.
But so in the Parks and Recreation, if you got to coordinate everything, that means that you work with all the venues that set up and.
So, like for this event in particular, coordinate the use of the location and street closures and getting all of the vendors and anybody that's coming out to entertain and have fun. I'm involved in all that. But this event is so large that I can't do it all by myself. So I have a really big, large, great team of other Parks and Rec professionals here in the city of Conroe that kind of break it up into different job tasks.
That's great. Well, it always runs very smooth. It runs smooth. Maybe the parents don't run smooth, the kids don't run smooth, but what you're doing, your program runs smooth. And Mike, what your responsibility is what?
Well, my primary responsibility is I'm the CK Ray Recreation Center supervisor.
You are?
There in Candy Cane Park.
I love that place.
Thank you. And one of the responsibilities of that is that I have some certain staff that I supervise, one of those being Kellie, and she's responsible for facilitating the special events that are that run through the city of Conroe. So it's definitely Kellie takes the lead, but as she said, for certain events she has a little bit more help than others, but this one in particular because it's so grand. It's all hands on deck. That's the term that we use for all Parks and Recreation.
But it's great to be the delegator, isn't it, Mike?
Well, and there's a lot of boots on the ground too.
No, I'm sure everybody's called in.
Yeah, everybody's called in. We all have a little area that but Kellie gets all the calls. We just get some of them, unfortunately.
I bet you do. I bet you were on the phone like constantly with, like, do you know the number of vendors that you have out there?
We have about 80 vendors this year.
Good, great. So now when they come to you, do they come and they submit, this is what I'd like to display, this is what we like to do, and then sometimes you can go like, no, you can't display that. That's not, it's a family thing. So
Right.
So you've had people do stuff
So we put an application out, and we kind of tell them what we're looking for. Obviously, we want
Okay.
some kid-friendly activities, and if you're going to sell something, we need most of the vendors to sell stuff that pertains to kids. So we have some vendors that will sell something that is more for the adults, but this event we really try to focus on kids. So kids' clothes, kids' toys, things like that for kids. But a lot of the booths that you'll see there are just free, fun activities for kids to play. So,
that's cool. That's cool. And now you have little rides as well
oh
for
yes,
them. Rides, and are they like a roller coaster and?
So
Not
this
a
one,
roller coaster, but
not a roller coaster. This one we have a carousel, and then we have the giant slide. It's a 3-lane slide. You sit on a little sack, the little burlap sacks, and slide down. Several inflatables throughout the whole festival grounds. Yeah.
I'm so excited about the slide.
Okay.
And is that only for kids?
No.
So the parents can act like they
yes.
need to go down with the kids,
Yes.
and they're just doing it because that's the thing to do.
Right.
That was when did that get real popular? The slide, 70s?
Probably.
I never couldn't believe the first slide I saw, and it was so scary looking, but that was the funnest thing, and you just felt like you're going to go off that side and never know where you're going to end. But it was very, very cool. So y'all got the slides, and you've got plenty of food.
Oh
right?
yes, we have more than 20 food trucks.
Oh my!
Yeah.
20 food trucks. So that must take in everything you could possibly want.
Yes, we have
and more.
everything from barbecue to we have an Asian food truck.
Oh,
so
good.
I mean everything. Polynesian. We have, wings. Kind of tried to get a little bit of everything this year.
Now we have such a great restaurant venues all down, up and down in Conroe, and I'm sure they're looking forward to having spillovers of people
Oh yes.
that don't want to stand outside the truck, but that they want to come inside.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know if you took from the restaurants that were here that they set up booths or anything like that in the park.
We
No.
don't have any restaurants that are going to set up a booth. Actually, I think the new Social House, they're going to put a little booth right outside their front door because their store actually is within the festival grounds. They're the restaurant, so they're going to have a booth outside to just make people aware that they're there because they're very new.
Okay, and they're called
So was it 219 Social House, I believe?
219 Social
I
House.
think so.
I saw that and I went Social House, and I didn't know that was what it was. It's a restaurant. And, okay, very cool. I have to check that out. I think it's my responsibility as being behind this mic and talking about food that I should have tasted it, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the benefits. A lot of those downtown restaurants do get some overflow of the crowd that is there. If you're already familiar with where they're at, some people will plan their outing based on that. They'll either visit those establishments before or after they run around, or possibly even during, to take a break to get out of the heat for a little while and refresh and then come back.
The weather
come back
is just
out.
it's gonna be cloudy, right? It's not gonna be.
That's what it looks like.
hot.
We're
Rainy.
going to definitely reap the benefits of that. Most years it is this time of year. It is already in the 90s. It doesn't, for whatever reason, this particular year in general.
Yeah.
It seems like the cooler weather is sticking around a little bit longer, and that's great news.
Much more mild. And
Living here in Texas and Conroe, especially.
I think it's always sneaky that the corporate people put out a hire. They want to hire people, and they have them come in to check out their company and where they be living and all that in April, so that it's cool enough.
Yeah.
And then they go like, the weather here is just like in San Diego. I don't know what people are talking about.
And just when they're moving in the summer, they're like, what did we do, right?
What was I thinking? Yeah, you have to be ready for the heat for sure. Now, Mike, if you would tell me, like, do you know how many security officers or how many officers are there to be sure everything goes well?
We definitely do have the the help of the Conroe Police Department. They're not only there on site to provide security, but they also are there on site within our safety village. We have different villages that make up the actual festival, and they obviously are in the safety village. Safety village being the area where we have our public service departments, the fire department as well, the emergency services.
So all the emergency services are there on standby.
They're on the safety. They're there to interact with the families and kids, but in the event of a situation that may arise, whatever level it may be, they're there on site to also be what they do.
Yeah.
Every day is be first responders, and that could be something as simple as basic first aid. Hey, I got a cut or need a bandage, or maybe get a little overheated.
I ate too much
in previous years. Yeah, or I'm just tired. So it's those types of things when you bring this many people together all at once, and depending on being outside, some of those things just happen, and we take the precautions as well as they with their help and guidance, especially to be able to have those things in place when they arise.
Well, I know by I get to tell the story again. Oh boy. I went to the Kidzfest probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. Time just flies. But I went and I was in the shop with my granddaughter, and I think she was about 5 at the time. And I'm holding her hand for a while, and then I started looking at things and just assuming she'd stay there with me at the same place. But when I turned around and she was gone, I started panicking, and I just couldn't believe I had done this. And so I'm looking all over for her, and I said, I'm not going to be able to find her. This is too huge. So there's an officer that was coming by, and I went, excuse me, but I can't find my grandchild. And she just puts up her finger and goes like, hang on. We need to have all the entrances shut and exits shut, and we've got a missing child. And then when that child's found, then we will release you can go back to opening the gates. So, I mean, it was that fast, and everything shut down. And, the people that were like, couldn't go anywhere until my granddaughter was found. And it had nothing to do with me being on the radio and me saying anything bad about the security. They didn't even know who I was. So they said, yes, ma'am, we'll get this. You go stay somewhere so we know where to find you. And so I told them I'd go back to the radio station, and then they said, okay. But I was just standing outside just looking like, please, 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 please come walking up. And here she comes walking holding the hand of Cindy, and Cindy's just so excited and happy, has no idea what she just has caused. And so she said, okay, we found her. Okay, you can open the gates now. Let's go. It was so fast. It was so amazing. And so I was so impressed. I mean, I thought, I started telling everybody, you should feel comfortable in the sense that as soon as, there's plenty of officers everywhere around, so you can stop any one of them, and they'll say, shut it down. It was amazing. So just pass that along.
That's great to hear.
That's how conscientious they are.
That's how we plan it to be in the event that there is a lost child or parent, depending on the situation.
Yes.
We do have a public service. An announcement that can be made through either our handheld radios or over the PA system, and most times than not, we at the moment it might seem like it's longer than what it really is, but thankfully it's really not.
No, and everybody knows about it. I mean, instantly everybody knows about it.
The staff are briefed prior to that. In the event of something like that happening, these are the parameters that we do as well. Something that the public service officers, Conroe PD and the fire department, fortunately they deal with that probably on a daily basis,
Right,
in the
right.
various aspects of their jobs. But
I was just so happy they didn't say, "Wait a minute, is this Cindy's grandchild?" Okay. Yeah, we have her description right here. No, but given the description and all that, they had everything that they needed, and you could just see them spread out and try and find this child. So, and especially in today's world, that was a while back, but in today's world, man, for sure, you want to make sure you're going someplace. There's going to be a lot of people, but you've got a lot of security, a lot of officers that are there just to make sure you're safe.
There are a lot of tempting things around for the kids, and
Sure.
good things, meaning, activities or attractions or different things. So, as they're doing one thing, but their eyes are looking at 10 other things, and some of them can't wait for the parent to
Let's go.
let's
Come on.
go. They're ready to move on. So
Yes.
some of them do move on, but
Right.
a happy reunion is
But-
definitely.
I mean, because the big deal is that everybody has a good time. Don't worry about anything. Just go have a good time and enjoy the food. Yes. And then you have entertainment as well, right?
Yes.
And who's going to be your entertainment?
So we have 2 stages. On the main stage, you'll have, it's too much for me to memorize, so let me look at it here. We'll have our cheerleaders, like our Parks and Rec cheerleaders, so they will be super
cute.
cute. And then we have a magician coming this year. We
Yes.
have a pirate adventure show. We have a circus dog show, and we have some hula dancers. That's on the main stage.
Now,
And
the
then
main stage is the one that's in the park.
Heritage
Heritage
Place.
Place. Plaza or
Heritage Place.
Okay.
And it's the big park with the amphitheater style.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's a hill.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of hills in Conroe. So
Right.
Okay, so this is good. And this is what, that's on the main stage. Where's
Yes.
the other stage?
So the second stage is Founders Plaza. That's the smaller stage on the corner of Main and,
It's right outside of Owen Theater.
okay, yes.
Oh, okay. That way.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's going to be, how much smaller is it going to be for,
So that's a
you can
smaller
get a crowd?
stage, and we have, we bring in some bleachers so people can kind of sit and stagger, so we
Like
kind
right.
of create a hill.
Yes.
So we'll have some music on that one. We'll have a kids program where they'll do a little play. We'll have a little kids dance program. We'll have Jazz Connection performing there. Also in that village, something new that they're doing this year is they're bringing in a glass blower, so you can watch someone create some glass art.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then you can watch professionals do chalk art, and then your kids can also participate. So
That's so fascinating. I've watched what they do down in New York, and you you really feel like you're going to walk off into the hole there.
All of that is within the art village there, which pretty much is right outside of the Owen Theater on
Okay.
the street in front of the Owen Theater, and then in the surrounding little plaza there.
Well, now, so you're looking mainly at couples and their children that are going to be coming to this, but what about, hey, I can take my date to this. They're having a festival, and you go like, they can still enjoy the music and the food and all that, and so.
I mean, in Discovery Village, I think a lot of people, no matter what your age, would enjoy in Discovery Village because you can, touch several different live exotic animals like an alligator or a
Like a
giant
petting zoo?
snake. Right. It's not exactly a petting
Okay.
zoo because it's more of not your typical petting zoo animals. Like an alligator or crocodile.
Yeah,
or
I've never seen one of those in
snake.
petting zoo.
We'll have a bird show, so that's something else you can enjoy and watch. And then we'll also have a science show. He'll kind of make some things explode in his area. So that's something I think all ages enjoy.
What's funny is that when you have, these, the agencies or the people that have kids things that they do, and they're going to come now perform for you, and all of those performers, parents and grandparents and cousins and all will be in the audience, and you create a huge audience just by having those different.
You've got one of our secrets there. That's
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, that's not a. It's not a. It's not a secret. All good festival people realize that if you have those types of activities, well, guess who? How do you get some of your crowd by having grandparents and parents and family and friends
Amen.
attend, right? So
I did videos and marketing and stuff at this church, and I went to the preacher and I said, if you want to grow the crowd, I want to put more people in the seats. I know what you need to do, but I just don't know if y'all will do it or not. And he goes, what do you need to do? I said, you need to create a sermon around where kids can get up on the stage and can maybe have a little skit or do something like that. That's all you need to do, and all those parents and grandparents will fill the seats.
Yes.
And he went, yeah, but I'm not going to manipulate the crowd. And I went, that's not manipulating the crowd. It's just that give the children something to do up there, and people love to look at the children. They love to see the kids. Well, I started doing the thing where, they baptize the babies, and they, not baptize the babies, but they'd bring the babies up, the new babies, and everybody would pray over them and that kind of thing. And I said, if that's the closest y'all can get, that's okay, because the grandparents are still coming to see the babies being prayed over. But do you see how many more people came whenever y'all did that? And they went, well, yeah, you might have a point. So they were trying to figure out how they can get more kids on the stage. And I said, that really is. And you feel like it's a secret, because nobody would talk about stuff like that, and except, when you do the festival.
No, it's definitely, there's a, when we're looking for things, certain times with all the festivals that we do, how do you get people, to come, and what grandparent or parent or aunt or uncle that lives close by, if they're
Right.
invited, they don't want to be the one that
They'll fly in.
that
Are you
says,
kidding me?
no, we're not going to come to that. The schools, it happens with the schools as well. So yeah, it's
And plus, you have all that, there's so much for the people, the relatives come to see that one little performance, but there's so much for them to do
Yeah.
afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
It creates your crowd to go
everybody
out and do
everybody
that.
benefits from it. The
Oh, it's a-
vendors do with the food, or
Yes.
if they're selling, the retail people. So yeah, it's a win-win for.
Yeah, that's
for
what I was
all.
trying to tell them. I said, it's not only if you feed them, they will come, but if you have their kids on, they'll fill up the seats as well.
Yeah.
But now, when y'all's marketing part of this to get it out to the public, is it going through the website, or where else would they go to?
Social media is a big one. The City of Conroe Parks and Recreation Facebook page has a lot of we have a recap video from last year.
Oh,
So
perfect.
somebody wants to,
Yeah.
who's never been before, and they're like, what is this Kidzfest? It's a little 2-3 minute video that they can go on it's on our website as well. But if they can go and look get some highlights from last year, so they can kind of, that's one of the things in all the years that we've been doing that, is anytime somebody new, whether they be a vendor or a stage act or something, and they're like, well, what can we expect?
Yes.
And you tell them, roughly, throughout the course of the day, we're going to have over, 10,000 people attend. And
10,000
they just, they're probably, I don't think most of them believe us.
Right.
So sometimes when they come, they're underprepared in the sense that, oh, I'm just going to bring this stuff, and that'll be plenty throughout the day. And then when they come, and 2 hours into the event, they're wiped out of all their material, all their stuff that they're going to give away. So then what do I do for the next 4 or 5 hours? And we try to warn them, but it is. I understand. When you tell somebody that,
Yeah, that's hard to wrap your head around.
it's hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
But obviously, not everybody's coming by your particular, but enough do where it's like, now what do I? So.
Do y'all have rules about they can't?
They
Oh,
learn.
sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you have rules like they can't stand outside their tent to hawk?
We do, yes. We tell them they have to be within their space. We don't have any hard selling that takes place out there. Again, this is more. It's for the kids.
Right.
We do have two types of different vendors. We have what we call our retail vendors, and then we have what we call fun booths. Our retail vendors are vendors that have goods, primarily in this case, children's goods, whether they be books or clothing or, stuff that light up.
Right.
That, parents can stop by if they choose to and pick out something for their children. But and then we also have our fun booths where we have local organizations, churches, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, gymnastics places, karate places, or whatever. Kid, usually somewhat kid or family related. They'll come out, have a booth space. There's no charge to them to do that, provided that they provide an activity for the kids to engage in while their parents are, when they stop by and they're talking, hey, what do you have to offer? Well, at that time it's happening between the parents, the kids over there doing a little something, either, something like a ring toss or sometimes they'll throw a sponge at somebody with their face within. It's kind of, instead of a dunking booth, we do have a dunking booth.
You have a dunking booth?
Some years, I don't know. I can't recall if we do this year, but some years we do.
No.
Oh, I was
But
gonna volunteer Richard. maybe.
we'll put them on the list for next year.
Okay. Okay, that would be great.
We'll let you have the first.
Are y'all having any like where pets are adopted? I saw that I think one time.
We have had that in the past. This year, we are not. But at throughout the year, at some of our other festivals that we do, they do. I think it's just kind of, it's volunteer based. So if they can't, they have to have the volunteers to be able to come out and facilitate that for them.
Oh,
but usually when they do, they say that some of our events, that's their most successful ones, where they find homes for a lot of animals.
Well,
those days.
I hate to hear that because I was excited about y'all having that, because I had a 7-week-old puppy. I'd like to volunteer to be part of that. I'm telling you, I'm so sick. I feel like having a baby and that look you get because you're up every 2 hours and you're aggravated with everybody and everything. And so that poor dog has been yelled at so much by me. But okay, so you're not going to do that, and that's okay. I'll try and get through with it, and I'll let you know. But I wanted to find out about, like if people come, it's 10 to 4, everybody. I don't think we said that yet.
Yeah.
It's 10 to 4. And so if they want to get there early, and what about parking, and where would you suggest?
One of we do have a new feature in regard to the parking this year. In addition to the downtown parking garages that are in downtown Conroe,
Yes.
there's 2 that that people can park in at no charge, and then it's a short walk over. Or there's the street parking, the downtown, it's limited, especially for when there's a festival going on, because
Yes.
a lot of the festival takes up that parking. But one thing that we are able to add this year is there is going to be a free parking ride through the Conroe connection.
Oh, really? That's great.
And that is taking place right across the street from where the library is, the Montgomery County Library, underneath
Right.
the freeway there, where it's a parking ride every day.
Across the street from the library, where the flags are?
Yeah, underneath underneath I-45, the overpass there. There is a parking lot there. It's the parking ride.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Monday
Yeah.
through Friday, it's a
Yeah.
parking ride. I believe that you can park there, and they'll take you down to
And the Conroe connection comes through there?
Well, for this particular event, if you
They
park
will.
there, they can load up on the bus and take the short ride down the street to the park. They'll drop you off right there at the entrance. You don't even have to walk very far, and you're in the festival. And then at the end, when you're ready to go home, just walk back to the curve. The bus will take you right back to the parking lot, and
That's
you don't have to think about it.
awesome.
Rather than try to fight fight, meaning just trying to find a spot
Right.
downtown.
Ooh.
Sometimes some of those parking garages, depending on what time of day you
Mm-hmm.
come, or get full, or you have to wait a little bit in line to get in, or get out for that matter.
So would you suggest people come in at like 9:30, 9?
Well,
9
we start
o'clock?
at 10. I wouldn't suggest to get there that early because you're just going to be standing in line and waiting. But I would say that if between the hours of 10 and 10:30 is ideal.
Okay.
And then the height of the event, I would say, probably is from 11 to 2. That's our busiest time.
Okay, and
then-
is that when the entertainment and all that is? Is the entertainment like all day?
Yeah, we stagger it throughout the
Okay.
day so that whatever time you come, you're not missing out on some type of
Okay.
entertainment.
Okay, good.
But if you're depending on how long you have to stay, so I would imagine that some families stay a majority of the day. Some that have come year after year, they know, hey, we're going to knock it out early in the morning and then get out of here before the crowd gets to
Right,
or
right.
vice versa. They'll wait later in the day and let the crowd come through, and then at the
Thin
end,
out a little bit.
yeah, thin out a little bit, and then sometimes at the end, the last couple hours, I won't go as far to say you have it to yourself because that's definitely not the case, but the lines are a little bit shorter.
Right.
And the biggest benefit of this event is that it is free admission, no charge, and all the activities, that non-paid activities are free. Like, so if you want to ride any of the rides or you want to see any of the entertainment, there's no payment required. So you could literally come to Kidzfest and not spend a dime. Well, but we all know as parents, if you
Yeah, I
have
was
kids,
gonna say.
that's not real. That's not too realistic, but you could literally pack your lunch and bring it in.
Oh, you can.
if you wanted to. That's permissible.
The vendors know that? We weren't not telling them. All right. Okay.
It's not done by a lot, but it some people, if you want to
That's great.
take the time beforehand, that is permissible.
So no one's checking what you're
to
bringing
do that.
in
Well,
like that sense.
and not in that sense.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's
good.
something you're walking in with something out of the ordinary, you would probably get asked, hey, what is that?
Step aside, sir. We
Yeah.
want to check that out. No, but that's exciting, and it sounds like it's going to be so much fun. And if the hours are 10 to 4, and depending on how many kids you have and what age they are, how long you'd stay probably.
Yeah.
And
And
do
some
you
parents-
let teenagers come in? Like, can teenagers come in without parents? And
Certainly,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Sometimes the parents divide and conquer. If a husband and wife come and they got multiple kids,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll split up depending on. And because we do have a few areas, the tot spot in particular, that's geared towards our much younger children, so that we don't allow older kids in that area because there's stuff in that area such as like a sand castles
okay,
and a sand pit, some inflatables that are toddler /
oh right,
appropriate. That we don't want the big because sometimes when they go to the other areas, there's like parents don't feel comfortable because their kids are much smaller.
Right,
So we have
right.
an area dedicated to them.
well that's
and it's
smart.
and
that's
it's
smart.
and that it's in a big shade spot, so it's a really big hit with the parents because they can kind of hang out and because it's much more hands-on when your kids are that
Right,
age than
and contained, and
when
they
they're
can,
older. you can
Yeah.
let them do a little bit more and not have to be right there
right.
watching their every move. So yeah, it's a great
That's-
experience for. It's kind of a hidden gem, quite honestly.
Mhm. And where's that located?
It's located in Heritage Place,
In
right next to the hill, actually, on the side of the hill, like that you referenced earlier.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of trees there, and it's kind of down towards the bottom.
right.
If you went, sometimes if you don't know it's there, that's where it is.
Well, if you've never been, you're just moving into the area and you've heard about this Kidzfest thing, and it might be good for you to drive through downtown and just get your lay of the land of where things are before they start, because you'll cut off streets.
We
in
do.
downtown.
We do. As I have here, we do have a map on our website.
On your website. That's what I was going to ask you.
And it'll be on our Facebook page too. It kind of gives you it's a map of downtown and the festival, where the streets are closed, what is in what, very general. We can't get super specific as to where everything is in regards, but where the different villages are. Again, I keep referring to villages. Villages are what make up the Kidzfest. We have 8 different villages, and depending on the theme of the village is kind of where we place most of the activities, so that it fits the theme.
Has that always been that way, or y'all?
Yeah, actually,
It has? Okay.
yeah. That's kind of the way that it works for us. Does it for the most part?
That's very organized. That's good.
Sometimes it's like, hey, sometimes something will present itself, and it's more about, hey, we need this. Where can we slot this where we have the most room? It may not necessarily fit the theme, but hey, at the same time, at the end of the day, people just want to do the activity. Doesn't necessarily, they don't care where it's at. If you tell me it's right there, they really want to do that, they'll find it and do it.
So when the vendor comes, they say, we want to do this, they provide their own tent? Or do y'all do that?
It also depends on what it is. We provide the bigger tents for the villages, but if it's say it's like a church group or a Boy Scout or they provide their tent, because again, that's not a cost. They're just coming out there to kind of make parents aware of their service.
So,
but if they're providing like an activity or something much bigger, then we typically try to do that for them.
but Kellie, are you the one that they would call and say, the dimensions of my tent are going to be this, and then you have to figure out, okay, I have only 2 feet left. Y'all can't come.
Well, every booth we give them a 10 by 10 space.
Oh, okay.
So that fits your basic 10 by 10 pop-up tent, and really we give them a little bit more than that, so there's a little room between each tent. So
Okay.
we tell them to plan for a 10 by 10, and they have to bring their own tent and their own everything. They're just getting the space from us.
I just love it that in 2 hours everything's gone. That just cracks me up, because this isn't your first rodeo, is it, guys? You've had to have been at places, but 10,000 people in Conroe, downtown Conroe. I'm trying to picture how that would look. I haven't been to the Kidzfest for a while, so but I want to go to this one. I have my 3rd grandchild would be perfect for this.
Oh, good.
Because now, what ages do you tell people if they say what ages is best?
I think it is available for all ages. We don't obviously restrict, but I think ideally, I would say probably between the ages of 2 to 12 is probably our target.
That's great.
Audience.
That's good. That's perfect, because that's when they're looking for stuff for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And people get to be, the kids get to be 13. They'll go like, nah, that's for babies. I'm not going to go to that. So
We both have teenagers. We're familiar.
Yes,
We're familiar
we
with
know.
that
y'all do.
response.
I was going to say, are they working at this, or are you bringing any of your children?
Oh, no, no.
They're
Okay,
not
you're-
well, I'll speak for mine. I have 2 teenagers, but they're not of age to be in the workforce just
Yeah.
yet. They're on the younger side of the teenage years, but there'll be a time where
It's going to happen,
we'll-
yeah. You come out with Dad and go, see how hard Dad works. This is what you're going to have to be doing.
yeah.
But if you have kids that can come out and help you in the booths and things like that, then they
We do have volunteer opportunities. I would say that for this year, it probably is a little late in the game, unfortunately, but we do solicit volunteers of primarily the minimum ages that we ask for is that you're like Kellie, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't recall that. I want to say that it is
Eighth grade?
Minimum eighth or ninth grade. So 14 years old, up until, you could be a senior citizen if you wanted to. We do, and we actually do have some that come and help us.
I heard how you dropped your
help us
voice. You went,
volunteer.
you could be a senior citizen. Okay.
I was well. It's funny because it evolves, and we were looking at I was looking at the list yesterday of all the volunteers we have. We have roughly, I would say, I'd say in the neighborhood of 50 to 75 volunteers, but then and staff-wise, we have closer to 150 that help facilitate this event.
So, and that's across the city employees?
There are actually, the majority of those being Parks and Recreation employees, full and
Okay.
part-time. We have a lot of part-time employees that work at our different centers, being the Aquatic Center or the Oscar Johnson Community Center and after-school programming at the Rec Center. That they're facilitating programs throughout the year, but they know that when it comes to special events, some of the bigger ones, we call on them to help us
to be volunteers.
to facilitate these activities, and
You will volunteer.
Yes.
That's right.
they like it.
Well, I'm sure it's something different to do too.
Sure.
Okay, now, so 105, is that street going to be cut off at, starting after 45, after you go into 45? Is that cut off, or what do you?
No, you can come up 105 all the way. 105 will not be
Good,
Well,
because that way you can go to the
will not be
garages.
closed off.
The
Fraser
garages, yeah.
Fraser will not be closed off. The streets that primarily are going to be closed off are Simonton Street from Fraser to Main, and Metcalf Street from San Jacinto to Main, and then the cross streets of San Jacinto and Thompson in the downtown area. But if you want to come up 105, if you want to turn right on San Jacinto to access that parking garage,
Yes.
that's right adjacent kind of to the park, the Heritage Place there. Or if you want to come up Main Street, if you want to come all the way up 105 to Main Street, you can turn, and there's a parking garage kind of in front of the Baptist church that's
Yes.
down there.
Is the Baptist church going to let y'all park?
If you park in the parking garage, you can. We're not encouraging people to park in their parking lot. That's their parking lot, and sometimes they have activities going on. Sometimes weddings on that particular day. So we don't
Y'all are so sweet.
we don't encourage people to park there
Because they offer that to the jurists. They let them park there
in that parking
in their
lot.
parking lot.
Yeah.
And it was jury day, and I was going to meet with one of the pastors there about being on the show, and I drove up, and their parking lot was packed, and I went, good grief, this church is really doing well. So he said, those are the people that are going to be on juries. I went, that was so smart. That's a great idea, because people think that y'all are like really. And he said, I know it, it's true. But it was, I said, that's good. Said that's a huge parking lot, and it just sit there empty.
Yeah.
Y'all ought to negotiate something.
Well, like I said, there's times that we have. It's just that sometimes, somebody's got their most important day of their life planned during the time frame of Kidzfest, and their guests show up and they don't have a place to park. So
You give them coupons.
We
Come on
don't
in.
want to be that reason that their wedding day
That's right.
didn't go as planned.
If they had to park in Willis or something.
There's plenty of actually. That's kind of if you're looking for a place to park besides the park and ride, that parking garage is kind of underutilized. So that would, of the two parking garages, you can get in and out of that parking garage.
Which one is that?
The one that's in front of the
church. By the church. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just people. Their natural instinct is to come to the first one they see.
Right.
Even though there's signage that will also direct them that way, but more people are familiar with that one.
Yeah,
Apparently, so that one fills up much quicker, and it's a little shorter walk to, but again, it's all
y'all do any kind of
relative.
directions, like if this parking lot's full, then they
Yeah, we do.
where?
We have staff that man the parking garages,
Mm-hmm.
and they know when one is full, so they will stop taking cars rather than have people just drive around endlessly, because nobody likes to do that. Before you even get out of your car, you're already frustrated before you get into the festival.
and the poor kids are going, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. Shut
Right,
up,
so
Mom."
we will not let them do that on purpose.
Right.
And then we will direct them to.
Really, like, directions are everything, because we do have so many people moving into this area, and they want to do things with their family and the kids and stuff. So they come down, and they've never been here before, and trying to find somebody to ask
Yeah.
questions to. Because Saturday, this is pretty well emptied out. The city doesn't have
Right, yeah, and
employees
calling
and
this,
stuff.
yeah, calling City Hall on Saturday when you're not gonna get just because it's a typically
Right.
a close. So yeah,
Right. So, anyway, but I love what you guys do, and I appreciate y'all so much. And I think that if people go to your website, and Richard said to tell everybody that we've got the information on their website on our Lone Star community. Is it Facebook or? Okay, on Facebook. That's why I had them out here, so I could ask them the questions. I wouldn't have to look from Facebook and see. But thank you guys for your time, because I know y'all are busy, and you're going like, Cindy, come on, I gotta get 15 people I gotta put together.
well, thank you
But
for
I
the opportunity.
appreciate
We
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Listen, anytime y'all are doing stuff, let me know. Like I love to have y'all out, and we'll talk about all of the stuff that happened on this one. And
Sounds
y'all
great.
You're gonna do another video?
Oh yeah, we'll do
Okay.
another. We plan on having a recap.
Follow up? No, not follow up. Just you're gonna have
So
it.
it's
your
a little
own.
recap. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened there?
Uh-huh.
That's a great idea. I love that. Okay, so thank you. This is my my weekend off. No, I don't have a show on Friday, so this is so exciting, and I'm closing up at the right time. He's not going like hurry up. But I want to say this. I just want to say again, we always end with talking about our first responders and how much we love you, we respect you. We can't believe, what can we do without you? We're so glad that you're there. And thank you so much for watching these babies that are going to be there Saturday. So thank you very much. And I appreciate it. And so, but like we say, we love you, but God loves you more. And listen, call somebody you love, and y'all have fun. Be safe and have fun at this Kidzfest that's going to happen on Saturday. Okay, thank you guys again, and we'll see you.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified